my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this video is where I look at the top Bronze Age superheroes that were created during the Bronze Age. So I'm taking the Bronze Age from 1970 to 1979. Anything past 80, I'm counting that as Copper Age. And I'm doing that for a very specific reason, because if I don't do that, then Copper Age kind of goes a little bit weird. I just find it easier to make it the decades. So I know some people will be like, oh, but this character's the Bronze Age. But yeah, I'm using strictly the 1970s as the Bronze Age. So yeah, I just had to put that out there because a lot of people will be like, oh, this character should be in there. But with that being said, the Bronze Age had massive number of characters being created. And I'm going to actually run through all the names right now of some of the major characters that came out of the Bronze Age. We got Warlock, Luke Cage, Ghost Rider, Miss Marvel, John Stewart, Blade, Storm, Punisher, Captain Britain, Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Power Girl, Nova, Dracula, Jonah Hex, Cerebus, Wolverine, Spider-Woman, Darkseid, Howard the Duck, Colossus, Red Sonja, Conan, Black Cat, Swamp Thing, Man-Thing, Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, and Nightcrawler. So just a few. I mean, and then Scooby-Doo is another one. So just a slew of characters that came out of the Bronze Age of comics. And what are the top 5? Well, I'm going to give you 2 lists. I like doing this where I give 2 lists. One is in terms of which characters have been utilized the most. And these, going up till now. So this is a little bit unfair because in the Bronze Age, they might have been more popular. But really, I kind of want to pick characters that have that longevity. So I'm going to give you the top 5 list. But before I give that, I should say, I'm going to give you the 5 most utilized Bronze Age characters in terms of the number of times they appeared in various comics, and they've been throughout, and movies and stuff like that. So the top 5 utilized characters from the Bronze Age until now were Rogue, that was used in 5,254 issues. Rogue was Chris Claremont and Michael Golden creation. And then we got Nightcrawler, who was used in 5,463 issues. And he was created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. And then we got Colossus, who was used in 6,050 issues. And he was created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum as well. Then we have Storm, who was in 7,777 issues, and she was created by Christy Marks, Len Wein, and Dave Cockrum. And then we have the number 1 most utilized character, and it's probably obvious, is Wolverine. Wolverine was used in 12,912 various issues. It's just very, very popular character, very well used. He was created by Len Wein, Roy Thomas, John Romita Sr., and Herb Trimp. So those are the most utilized characters, but are they the best? So I picked 5 characters. I used various lists to kind of pick these 5 characters. I didn't want to pick all Marvel characters, though I could have. I did pick some characters that are maybe a little bit controversial, but and there is a Marvel version of some of these characters I picked that people will be like, oh, that's a better character. But I'm already ready for all the arguments that I'll see in the comments. But you can put your comments below and argue with me about my choices. But let's start out with the one that's probably going to get the most flack. And I think it's a good choice of the 2. So I could have picked Man-Thing, but I chose Swamp Thing because he's more popular character than Man-Thing. Just, it is what it is. And Swamp Thing is my son's favorite character, so he had to make the list. So I had to, it's a bit of nepotism there. So Swamp Thing's number 5 on my list. And there's actually 2 versions of Swamp Thing. The original Swamp Thing, which came out right here, this Swamp Thing. This is House of Secrets 92. And this is the Alex Olson version of Swamp Thing. And he only lasted 1 issue. But very classic story, and it really is the character that we all know. They just did a name change and slightly changed the origin of the character and made his name Alex Holden. And that was in Swamp Thing number 1. Now, Swamp Thing was created by Bernie Wrightston and Len Wein again. Len Wein, very, very prolific in terms of the Bronze Age, in terms of creating of characters. You probably got that already. But I love this cover. I love the story. It's a great story. And so Swamp Thing, number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list is one that could be switched with number 3. They're kind of interchangeable in terms of, I think, one could have been chosen over the other. I put it in this order. I could have switched it. It's not like I'm saying one character is better than the other. just so you know. So number 4 I put as Ghost Rider, and really you'll see why I could say you could switch it with number 3. And Ghost Rider made his first appearance in Marvel Spotlight number 5, which is this book. And it's just a classic cover as well. Like, you got Johnny Blaze, and he's almost jumping through the page. It's just amazing cover. And he was created by Mike Blug, Roy Thomas, and Gary Fendrich. And, or Friedrich, I think. Friedrich. So it's very popular character. 2 movies, maybe a third in the way, on the way for Ghost Rider. Just a very popular character. Definitely one who people know. Even people who are not comic readers would know Ghost Rider. Maybe a little bit more than Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing had his own TV series, but Ghost Rider was just a little bit more popular. So Ghost Rider, first appearance. And the next character, as I said, this could have been switched, probably should have been switched, is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is just another classic Marvel character. And he first made his appearance in Werewolf by Night number 32. He was created by Don Perlin and Doug Mowinch. So just a classic character. Another character, as I said, that I mentioned that was created in the Bronze Age was Werewolf by Night. And, they had 1 season of Moon Knight as a TV series. I think he's one of those characters that if they utilize him correctly, he could become a very popular character, because he is one that has a very strong fan base. Maybe even more so than Ghost Rider. But definitely a cool character. He was created in 1975. That's the other thing. I didn't mention the years that they were created. Ghost Rider is 1972, and I believe Swamp Thing is 1971. So 1975 for the first appearance of Moon Knight. Number 2 on the list is one that I think is super popular. Definitely one that people recognize, and had a very, very popular TV series and actually a movie as well. Is The Punisher. Punisher made his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 129, which was from 1974, and also appearing with the Jackal. The Jackal also made his first appearance in this book. The Punisher was created by John Morita, Gary Conway, and Ross Andrew. So just a really great character. He's not necessarily superhero typically, because he doesn't really have any powers. He just shoots a lot of stuff with big guns. And but he is definitely a character that is well loved from the Bronze Age. So yeah, so definitely one that people do gravitate to. Okay, and the last character, and you probably already guessed this. This is probably the most popular character well, it is the most popular character from the Bronze Age, and it's probably one of the most popular characters of all the ages. This character is a massive character, and it is Wolverine. I'm actually going to show two books. So we got Wolverine 181, which is his first cover and first what they call full appearance. And then we have Wolverine appearing for the first time in Hulk 180. And I consider this a first appearance of Wolverine because he appears on the very last page and they name him. So, I consider that a first appearance. When, you see the character in full and you see him named, it's pretty much a first appearance. So this one, though, is the one that most people gravitate to, and it's Hulk 181. And Wolverine was created in 1974. He was created by Len Wein, Roy Thomas, John Romita Sr., and Herb Trimpe. And I believe Herb Trimpe did the cover for this one. So this is his artwork right here. And he's one of those unsung heroes of the art community for Marvel. He just didn't get the respect that he deserved. But Wolverine did. Definitely a very popular character, and he's the number one on the list. So I hope you enjoyed this list. What did you think? What characters would have you put on the list? Would you have had maybe Darkseid or Howard the Duck? There's some really great characters. I would love to know which ones would you have put on the top 5 list, and did you agree with my picks at all? I'd be curious about that. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.